How you doing? My name is Paul Ballou. I'm the office manager and case manager for the Metro Atlanta Task Force for the Homeless. I'm here to talk about the mothers and children and the single women that are currently staying in our lobby. And kind of give you a little brief history. Back in June of 2013, Gateway, which was one of the largest overflow facilities for women and children, closed its doors, and 300 plus women found themselves without a place to stay. And whenever the other facilities, such as the Salvation Army and my sister's house, once they reach the capacity, they can't take anybody else in. So there was a lot of women and children that were still living on the streets. So the Metro Atlanta Task Force opened its doors to the single women and the women with children. And they're sleeping on our floor nightly on mats in our office area. As of last night, we had 40 single women, 6 mothers, and 11 children. Now this is pretty much a light load for us. Normally we're ranging anywhere between 40 to 80 women and children, sometimes even more, depends on the weather. And we're desperately trying to find placements for these women and children. We're daily seeking out new resources as far as placements for these women. A lot of the women up here that are staying with us, they're coming from bad situations, families not getting along, families not being able to support them, mothers that are working but they're making them close to minimum wage and they have 3 or 4 kids. The economy is I would say a real big role in this. And the reason why these women are staying with us right now is because places like the Salvation Army, my sister's house, the Calvary Refuge, places like that, once they reach their capacity, they can't take any more in. And we're having to wait until these spaces come open before we can help these women move on. Now, some of the women that do come through to us, they do have an income. There is another avenue now that if they have an income, we can work with the other agencies like PCCI, Nicholas House, which has 3 programs geared for mothers and children, get them into a program that can help them get back into their own house. One of the programs at Nicholas House is for mental health issues that are basically set up for hard to place cases that none of the other facilities can facilitate. So they send them to us and we have to seek out those resources to help them, and Nicholas House has stepped up to the plate and is actually helping the task force with this area. We have mothers here that have no income whatsoever, have no jobs. There's a program set up for that. There's a program at Nicholas House called H2H, which is a mother that does have a job, but she's not making enough to hold down a full month's rent on an apartment. They can put her into one of those programs, and they can actually help set her up in the process of being able to work with her budget, work with her bills, and figure out how they can best serve her and get her into a better suited place that she can handle with her income. And then there's the top tier program for the Nicholas House, which actually helps mothers that have an income. And it could be SSI based, SSDI based, or it could be a large amount of child support, or she can be working and making a pretty good amount, but she just ran out of funding and can't get into her own place because of the first and second month, or the first month's rent and the utility bills. So they will help us with that. We will accept anybody at any time. We have a hotline it's operated 24 hours. If a woman is out in the streets and she needs a place to stay. Most of the police departments, most other agencies that know about us, they will refer these women to us, and they will call us and we'll let them know when to come, and we can take them and we'll start the process of getting them into their own place or getting some kind of help for them. The biggest problem that we're having right now with the Metro Atlanta Task Force and the placements for these women is the resources are really super limited. The other facilities, when they do get the women and children or the single women into them, a lot of the women realize that these are their last resort, so they're hanging on to them, and the spaces are not opening up, and plus the funding is just not there, and the resources, like I say, is limited. So these women are pretty much bogged down in our lobby because there's nowhere for them to go. There's no resources to place them. If there were, they wouldn't be here sleeping on mats all night. And if anybody out there that hears this, and if there is any kind of a resource that maybe we haven't used or maybe we don't know about, if you could please contact us, and you would actually be calling Miss Valarie Dawson, who is our Associate Director, and she can be reached at 404-787-6197, and any help in this matter would be greatly appreciated. And I'm sure that these women and children here, and the single women here, would greatly appreciate any type of assistance that you can give us on this.